You've been there, right? You have this brilliant idea or you see a great project and it just withers on the vine inside a big company. It's so frustrating. Well, in this explainer, we're going to dig into exactly why that happens. And I promise you, the answer is not what you think it is. So let's just start with a number, 83%. A recent report found that 83% of companies say innovation is one of their top 3 priorities. I mean, on the surface, that sounds amazing, doesn't it? It seems like everyone is totally on board. But then you see this number. While 83% say it's a priority, only 3% are actually set up to do anything about it. That gap is just, wow, it's not a typo. So what on earth is happening between what we say and what we do? BCG has this perfect name for it, zombie innovation systems. It's when companies are just going through the motions. Now, it's really easy to blame the usual suspects, right? Bad managers, too much red tape. But that's the comfortable story. And it turns out it's also the wrong one. The real diagnosis is way more surprising. So it's time to pull back the curtain and separate the myth from the reality of why great ideas die. The myth, the story we tell ourselves, is that innovation gets killed by broken things, bad bosses, slow processes, a culture that's scared of risk. But the reality is so much more profound. Innovation is killed because the system is working perfectly. Let that sink in for a second. Your company isn't broken. It's doing exactly what it was designed to do. And that brings us to this core idea, the organizational immune response. Seriously, think about it just like your body's immune system. All the things designed to protect the company and keep it healthy, managing the budget, making sure quality is high, avoiding risk. Well, those same things see a genuinely new idea as a foreign invader, like a virus. And what does an immune system do? It attacks and neutralizes the threat. So how does this immune system actually work? Well, it sends out these 4 specific attackers, which we can think of as corporate antibodies. We're going to break down all 4: procedural resistance, resource competing, standard dilution, and passive waiting. Let's take a look at how each one of these perfectly healthy functions ends up being toxic for anything new. First up, you've got procedural resistance. This is really just your company's governance system doing its job. Your brand new idea gets forced through the same approval process as a 10-year-old product. People start asking for a 5-year ROI forecast. How can you possibly predict that for something that's never existed before? You can't. The process is built to evaluate things it already knows, so it just automatically rejects the unknown. And this quote from Vijay Govindarajan just nails it. HR says, sorry, those are the pay scales. IT says, nope, that doesn't fit our standard tech stack. See, no one here is the bad guy. Every single department is just following its own rules correctly. But when you add it all up, the project gets slowly strangled to death by 1,000 perfectly reasonable no's. Okay, this second antibody is resource competing. And again, this is just good, responsible management. Every dollar, every person you put on some unproven, risky new idea is a dollar or a person you're taking away from the core business, the part that actually pays the bills and has guaranteed returns. So when it's a page match for budget, the sure thing is going to win every single time. Antibody number 3 is standard dilution. This is your quality assurance and brand teams working to protect the company. So that radical idea you had, it gets sanded down, watered down, and pulled back to whatever feels familiar. Let's make sure that fits our brand voice. That has to work with our legacy systems. And pretty soon, your groundbreaking idea is just safe, boring, and way less valuable little tweak. And finally, the sneakiest one of all, passive waiting. This is just risk management, right? The company looks at you and says, hey, love the idea. Go prove that it works, and then we'll give you the resources. But of course, you can't prove it works without the resources in the first place. It is the ultimate catch-22. It looks like smart, prudent judgment, but it's actually a guaranteed way to just starve an idea into oblivion. So here's the really crucial part to understand. This immune response isn't a sign that your company is sick or broken. It's a feature, not a bug. In fact, the most successful, well-run companies, they often have the strongest, most aggressive immune systems out there. Roger Martin frames this perfectly. The status quo, the way things are now, is presumed innocent. It has a track record, it has data. But innovation, it's presumed guilty. It has to prove it will succeed, which for anything truly new is logically impossible. The whole deck is stacked against it from the very start. And this all leads to the great paradox of innovation. The very things that make your company great, those super efficient processes, the strong culture, the integrated systems, those are the exact same things that will violently resist anything that threatens to change them. Your greatest strength becomes your biggest obstacle. Okay, so that all sounds pretty discouraging. If you can't just fight the system, what are you supposed to do? Well, you can learn to read the signals it's sending you. You can turn this immune response from an enemy into an incredibly powerful diagnostic tool. This right here is the key mindset shift you have to make. Stop seeing all that resistance as the enemy. Start seeing it as valuable information. The immune response is telling you something really critical about your project and how it fits, or doesn't fit, with the rest of the organization. Your job is to stop fighting and start listening. So how do you actually start reading these signals? First, you have to identify the specific antibody that's active. Is your project getting tangled up in endless red tape? That's procedural resistance. Is it constantly losing budget battles? Hello, resource competing. Is your big idea getting watered down into something bland? That's standard dilution. Or are you stuck in that limbo just waiting for proof? That's passive waiting. You have to name it to tame it. Second, ask yourself, what useful function is this resistance actually trying to perform? Is it trying to protect the brand? Is it managing financial risk? And then, here's the million-dollar follow-up. Is that function still serving a purpose that's relevant today? Or is it just defending a past that doesn't exist anymore? Which leads right into the third question. Has the world outside your company changed? Have your customers, your market, your technology completely evolved while your internal rulebook has stayed frozen in time? It's totally possible for your immune response to be perfectly defending a business model that's for a world that's already gone. And finally, you have to ask if you're even working on the right problem. If you feel like all 4 antibodies are attacking you at once from all sides, that is a massive signal. It's often a sign that your idea is way too big of a leap, and you've skipped the foundational work you needed to do to prepare the organization. The system isn't just being difficult, it's telling you the ground isn't ready. And all of this brings us to one final, critical question. It's really the one every leader, every innovator should be asking themselves. Take a good, hard look at the systems inside your company. Is its immune system truly protecting its valuable past? Or is it, in fact, systematically killing its own future?